Welcome to CSGuitars, the science of loud. Today I'm tackling your tatas, the questions that at this stage you're too afraid to ask. Over the many videos that I've done on the topic of guitar pickups in the past, one question keeps popping up time and again. What are lipstick pickups? This is a question that I've never tackled before, as none of the guitars that I own have this particular feature. But here at Thomann I have access to many guitars which feature these tubular pickups. Now, Danelectro are the brand to talk about when discussing lipstick pickups, as they were the ones who invented them.
Back in 1954, Nathan Daniel, who had founded Danelectro 7 years earlier, began making guitars under the Danelectro and Silvertone labels. Prior to this, he'd been making amplifiers for department stores, so a cheap guitar line to go along with them was the next logical move. These guitars were unique in their aesthetics and had many features born out of the necessity to keep production costs as low as possible. One such innovation was the lipstick pickup.
For anyone unfamiliar, this is a lipstick pickup. They are cylindrical metal tubes which produce a jangly sound most commonly associated with the surf and rockabilly genre. But before we dig into the construction of one of these, we first need to address the name. Lipstick pickup? Where does that come from?
Ever keen to save money in production costs, Daniel found an ingenious solution to pickup design. He purchased a large quantity of surplus metal lipstick holders from a women's cosmetic manufacturer. Lipstick at the time was stored inside these cylindrical metal tubes, which just happened to be the ideal size to house the internal components of a guitar pickup. With minimal modifications, these lipstick tubes became the external housing for the electronics, and being familiar for their more common usage, the name lipstick pickup stuck.
So the unusual look has its roots in the cosmetic industry, but are these covers purely aesthetic, or do they affect the sound?
Just like all metal-covered pickups, these lipstick tubes impact more than just the look. Entirely encasing a pickup in metal can act to shield it against outside interference, but also changes the magnetic distribution compared to an uncovered pickup, changing the way that the pickup senses the strings. Lipstick pickups are no different in this regard, and that cover is very likely taming some of the harsher high frequencies and mellowing the tone slightly.
But that's enough about what's on the outside. We all know that it's what's on the inside that counts.
Here's where things get interesting. A conventional single coil consists of 6 individual magnetic pole pieces, which focus the magnetic field under each string, all held in place by a fibre flatwork, forming a bobbin onto which the copper coil is wound. However, this approach was a little too rich for the cost-conscious Danelectro. Money could be saved by using a single bar magnet and winding the copper coil directly around it, eliminating the fibre flatwork and preparation of the bobbin entirely. This arrangement was usually held together by cellophane tape, sealed in wax, and then inserted into the lipstick tube.
So the construction is essentially no different from the earliest of guitar pickups. It's about as simple as you can get. Take a bar magnet, wrap some copper wire around it, and then stuff the whole thing into a metal tube. The simpler construction does make them less defined in the low end than you'd expect with conventional single coils, and due to their design not featuring individual magnetic pole pieces for each string, we've got less string definition on chords, with notes sort of blurring into one another. They are also very jangly in the high end, more so than the quackier nature associated with conventional single coil pickups. All of these characteristics give lipsticks a unique sound and adds another texture to the array of pickup options available.
It's worth mentioning the output of the old lipsticks too. They are weak, even by single coil standards, usually measuring in somewhere between 3 and 4 kiloohms. This works to their advantage, as a lower output generally means a higher resonant peak in the pickup sound, which is evidenced in lipsticks being so bright in nature. It also affords them more headroom and a cleaner operation from an amplifier, as the pickups don't drive the amplifier into distortion, which is useful considering the type of music they are used for. It's also worth considering the construction of the guitars that these are used in. Danelectro instruments are usually hollow plastic shells or have foam interiors. Putting a lipstick in a more conventional solid wood body guitar will give a tighter, punchier performance from the lipstick.
Now that we know how they're constructed, we need to hear how they sound. Jangly, clean single coil sounds aren't exactly my forte, which is why I've enlisted the help of Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, as he's a bit more au fait with this sort of thing.
I know!
Right, it's so good.
It's so true.
So, Ryan, can you explain to me a bit more about lipstick pickups and where they fit into the genres like surf and rockabilly and all these sort of things?
Well, I mean, in surf guitar in general, like the best place to start is single coil. Like single coils is just the voice of surf guitar, and you get something really pretty unique with lipsticks. They're janglier. There's more of like this like chime like quality to it. Like all the adjectives you can just imagine I could attach to a lipstick pickup. They basically sound the way they look.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of chromy, shiny, like glittery. That's what a lipstick sounds like. So like I said, single coils are typically understood to be the way to go with surf rock. You're pushing into like a drippy reverb. You're using a lot of like high character kind of playing, and you want a high character sound from your pickups and lipsticks and single coils in general to deliver that. And then you get that extra bit of like crispy jangle from the lipsticks. It's not like typically a traditionally correct thing to use lipsticks in surf rock, because that whole scene just blossomed out of Southern California in the 60s, and Fender was there exploding at the same time, and everyone was just walking down to, you know, Fullerton and picking them up off the wall. You know? So it's like Fender pickups really are the established norm in that genre. But honestly, you can use anything you want. Single coil, anything, P90s, stuff like that. You just get a different character from a lipstick. What am I going to play? I mean, you got to have a drippy reverb.
Absolutely.
I've got it coming from the HX Stomp here from line 6. I've got it dialed in as best I can. He's nodding his head like he can hear it. He's a liar
it's
right now.
all through the headphones.
It's all in the headphones. Like you can really hear that like high-end chime on it. Like versus like a Fender style pickup is like I'd liken more to like a quacky thud. Where this is like it's more like tinging on a glass. It's like tinging on like a crystal glass, and like a Fender pickup is like tinging on like a ceramic mug. Do a little tick tail. Like that little section right there, you can really hear that twang. There's just so much personality from not just lipsticks, but single coils in general. Like you don't get the kind of the muddy like thuddiness of a humbucker. You feel like you're hearing like the personality of the person playing it. Yeah, well, I have a Danelectro, and I have lipsticks in a box that I've been meaning to put in another guitar. But I think it's an underrepresented pickup.
Absolutely, I believe so.
And I think people should explore them more. I think people should be mixing them into other guitars, like alongside other pickups, because it gives you just a completely different option and different sound. There's just something so like primal about the design of it. And it's like let's try to put a pickup together this way, and it's in like a lipstick tube, like a cosmetic lipstick tube. And there's just a coil sitting there and it's wrapped with
jam.
Get it in there, close it up, slap it in a guitar, it'll be fine. They're cool.
This lipstick that I've been using as an example is actually smaller than the ones you would find in a Danelectro. Danelectro lipsticks can't be fitted into a standard Stratocaster route as they are considerably longer than a conventional single coil, so shorter versions like this are made to make retrofitting easier. I asked Ryan if he'd noticed any tonal difference between the Strat-sized lipsticks and the full-fat ones.
I've never noticed a difference in sound or anything like that. A lot of times I like to use this layout of lipstick pickup. This is like a weird side tangent, but with a normal single coil, the little ears here for the screws are at the same level as the base plate. And if you have a guitar where you can't get the single coil high enough for some reason, close enough to the strings, you throw one of these in there and it gives you extra room to get it closer to the strings. You just have like 1/8 of an inch there, or what, 2 centimeters?
Yeah, right.
But that's just a weird side tangent on this specific design of lipstick the way it's aligned. Because the ones that are in here, the plate on it will be flat and really wide, like you'll see.
Oh, it screws right to the back.
Yeah, it screws in through the back.
Yeah.
And they're not compatible with the standard pickguard.
Yeah, you can just throw it straight. So if you want to check out Ryan and 60 Cycle Hum, if you liked what he's been telling you here, then Ryan, show them where you can go.
Yeah, go check out 60 Cycle Hum on YouTube. We're also a podcast that covers like the used guitar market. Like we talk trash on like the most ridiculous ads you can find on eBay, Reverb, Craigslist, Gumtree, wherever you are, and you have like a used section. I'm also one of the few guitar YouTubers that covers surf guitar gear. It's not the only thing I do, but I have a very popular series of drippy reverb shootouts. And I've actually got a pile of pedals down here right now that I'm going to be shooting after this video.
Inspired by the conversation I had with Ryan, I decided to have a go at playing this Danelectro guitar for myself, and found the sound and performance to be a pleasant surprise.
So to recap, a lipstick pickup is a magnetic single coil pickup contained within a metal casing, which were originally repurposed surplus lipstick holders, hence the name lipstick pickup. Inside they are a bar magnet wrapped in copper wire and stuffed inside this lipstick tube. Their sound is jangly and bright, and while surf purists may turn up the nose at these in preference for Fender pickups, they offer a unique tonality to tackle all of your surf and rockabilly licks.
If you have any questions of your own that you are too afraid to ask, please do leave them in the comment section, and perhaps they'll become the topic of a future Tata video. It's never too late to learn. I want to say thank you to 60 Cycle Hum for helping me make this video, as well as Thomann, Danelectro, and all the other brands who made TGU19 such a successful event. That's all for now though, guys. Keep it loud, and I'll see you next time.